You know, today is quite an interesting day for heroes of color and representation. Like, nowadays, we have heroes like Falcon from the MCU, Cyborg from the Teen Titans 2003 show, heck, even Cyborg in the DC Cinematic Universe, and of course, amongst them all, Black Panther, a movie representation of the first ever African American comic book hero who made his debut by kicking the butts of the Fantastic Four. You know, I'm really grateful for that because, like with a lot of film representation, us African American folk did not exactly get the best debuts on the market. Like, let's see, we had The Wiz, which was supposed to be our take on Wizard of Oz, brought to the silver screen. That got screwed over badly thanks to Joel Schumacher and Diana Ross. And hey, in the superhero community, we had in 2004 Halle Berry.
Oh,
Okay. Let's go back a bit further.
But we had one before that. Go ahead, Joe.
Not Jova, but at least Halle Berry was an actress. How about we have a basketball player as our protagonist?
Well, hey, Space Jam brought in a lot of money, so that, of course, convinced Warner Brothers to think, hey, if Michael Jordan could act alongside the Looney Tunes, he really couldn't act, but I digress. If Michael Jordan couldn't be a hit that sold a lot of money alongside the Looney Tunes, how about we have this other basketball player be a superhero? Let's see, should we maybe get someone like Dennis Rodman, who, as crazy as he is, actually can act? No. Let's get that new guy. Oh yeah, the guy who recently made a video game, Shaq Fu. I'm sure that game's gonna sell lots of money and make lots of sequels. He's the train we gotta ride on. And thus, lo and behold, the movie Steel was born. Now, you probably haven't heard of this movie. And no, it's not just because it was starring a black guy. Mainly because, as bad as this movie is, it got overshadowed by Batman and Robin. But I tell
Ironically,
you,
this is still a DC superhero property. But for the youngest in the audience, there was a time in the 90s where, because, the radical attitude, for some reason Hollywood thought it was a good idea to cast mostly officially basketball players as actors. But unlike with wrestlers like Andre the Giant or eventually The Rock, for example, basketball players cannot act for saving their life.
again, except for Dennis Rodman.
Well, but that was like the single ray of hope, the diamond in the rough.
Yeah, and even Dennis Rodman has some issues that we will not be going into depth on.
But that's basically, it became to a point where basically this was treated like as an in-joke in Hollywood. And a couple of years ago, during the Jimmy Kimmel live show, before he ruined himself with the Oscars, they decided to have a small skit talking about this with Dr. Smith himself, Gary Oldman. We'll actually include this in the commentary in video, so basically just for having your reference. So we'll just start where the video is linked. All right.
Here we go, Ben. This is Actors Against Acting Athletes with Gary Oldman in 3, 2, 1, click.
If we've learned anything from Shaq, it's that when an NBA player acts, it doesn't usually turn out well. But now, finally, someone is doing something about it.
All right, time for some PSA with Commissioner Gordon.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Gary Oldman, actor. Some of you may know me from such films as Dracula, Air Force One, and Kung Fu Panda 2.
Hey, you're not gonna mention your ever so great hit, Gary Oldman Lost in Space?
Every aspect
Quest for Camelot.
I, Gary Oldman.
Well, he mentioned. Well, he was also in Kung Fu Panda too, so at the very least.
Oh yeah, he
And just
was.
as I, Gary
Just
Oldman,
saying,
actor,
omitting
would
the
never try
bad
and join an
Here we
NBA
go.
team just because I'm famous.
I noticed he
I,
didn't
Gary
mention
Oldman,
Batman
would
Begins
very
though,
much
and Dark
appreciate
Knight.
it if professional basketball players would stay the out of movies. Who the hell told you you could act? The director on your Powerade commercial? You're not actors. Some of you can't even speak.
Gary, did they teach you this at the good old Shakespeare acting school?
I wonder.
Oh, he's going somewhere with this. There you go, prolapse.
Hey, see how I did that?
Oh.
That's called acting. Do you feel the emotion? I can do that. You can.
Is that acting?
By the way, he actually good at basketball, and he just missed
what
it
I mean.
voluntarily on this. So.
people about actors against acting athletes.
So what you're telling me is that if Gary Oldman were also a professional basketball player, he may be one of the few basketball players who can act well. And I'll just say this right here, folks. I'm not here to diss basketball players in general. I'm sure plenty have some acting ability. In fact, if Shaq Fu 2, A Legend Reborn, yes, that's actually a thing, is anything to go by, Shaq actually did improve his acting skills. I mean, it's been over a decade since this movie, so...
Better late than never, I guess.
So, okay, let's actually look at the damage here. This movie, Steel, was made in 1997. Gee, what else came out in 1997 under Warner Brothers, guys?
Yeah, and again, it's boggling the fact they decided to, try to put Steel on the spotlight the same year as a Batman movie, and around the same time too, I think.
Wow, it's almost like they were expecting this to fail on that merit alone, which is sadly
Keep in
not a
mind,
thing that's
Steel,
dead.
when it comes to superheroes, on this universe, Steel is kind of obscure.
I mean, it's weird that he's obscure because he's actually a supporting character of Superman, but I'll go more into that when we actually get into the movie. Oh,
Yeah.
dear Lord, this movie.
In case you're wondering, this costed 60 millions and made 1.7.
Pedro, what is the official term for that in the movie world?
A flop.
All right, I guess the logo is the Warner Bros. One to start with.
Let's have
Yes.
a look here. Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead, Joe.
All right, then, audience. Assuming you have, God help you, you have a DVD of this movie. You know the drill. Go
I
to
can easily pre-purchase at Amazon.
Yes, indeed. Go to, well, press play, of course, and you will hear the music begin to play. Everyone ready? And 3,
Yes.
2, 1, click.
Gee.
Well,
I wonder I guess it never got a Blu-ray considering the box office bomb status.
I wonder.
Which is weird, because Super Mario Brothers got a fucking Blu-ray release.
Oh,
Oh,
it
right,
became
it
it gained a bizarre cult following by the people who love trash movies. It's
No,
like the
this is the
asylum.
thing, Teo. There's an actual fan website that literally defends it as a genuine work of art and shit.
Yeah, I know.
So here we are with Steel.
Okay, for the sake of starting with something positive, I actually do like this main theme.
Me too.
The composer is Mervyn Warren. Let me check what else he did.
The one good thing that I will say about this movie is the score is actually pretty fine.
Not only that, this movie has a pretty good cast outside of.
I guess he's a gospel singer.
Yep.
Weird. I didn't know that. I guess this is his only main. Let me check. Oh no, he composed for Sister Act 2, I guess, and not much else.
Kind of a shame too, because he actually can be pretty talented when he's given the proper tools.
I guess he
to work with.
preferred to just stick to what he could do best, and the gospel. I guess in this case it was for those benefit organizations.
Oh, by the way, this movie
Steel
also.
suit by Greg Cannon.
Oh,
Cannon.
goody, the
I guess he's
suit.
the costume.
But hey, guys, it's okay because this movie managed to pull in Shaft.
Really?
Why,
Yeah.
Shaft? Why?
Like I say, this movie has a pretty good cast, which just makes you wonder about the main casting choice.
Alright, in case you don't know, Steel is called John Henry Irons. It's based on the same character
Oh,
name
look, Shaquille O'Neal was an executive producer.
from American history.
So there you go,
John-
Teo. Maybe Shaq was a fan of the comics.
Well, actually, maybe. Considering how he never, censored this in his history, so...
So,
I
how
mean, he
do we
mentions
open?
it frequently.
So, how do we open up this movie about
With a
Steel?
documentary. Visit Nevada.
Ah, yes, and as you can see right out here in the great wilderness of, a burning forest
Smoke?
it now seems. Please
Oh
don't.
god,
no,
is this live action
but-
Fern Gully?
Please don't turn
but-
into a PSA about how humans are dicks for destroying the
Why
forest.
is there a tank?
It's
Where
a
are
surprise
we?
crossover with Tank Girl.
Well, to be fair, yeah, Iron starts out as a military dude, so I guess this makes sense. Yeah.
Depends on which continuity you look up, like either this or
But-
the DC animated one. But yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, if I remember correctly, they're testing out that weapon with this tank. This tank is basically just a
Yeah, the target.
That's the perfect starting line for
I
this.
saw this guy somewhere else.
Keep in mind that was the first line of the script. That's enough. That's enough. My ass is on fire. That's the line. That's the first line of this script.
Pedro, how much you want
That's
to bet
Charles
that's
Napier. What is he doing here?
Keep
like
in mind,
I said,
everybody.
quite the cast.
Keep in mind, everybody. A producer read this script, and that was the first line. And apparently,
And got
Yeah.
paid for it.
yeah.
But yeah, Tia, we've got Charles Napier, Ray J, Irma P. Hall, Richard Roundtree, Judd Nelson, the works.
When it comes to the main actors, I only know Shaft and Shaq. And the others, I'm not familiar with.
Charles Napier is actually quite famous. He sadly passed away in 2011.
Anyway, this girl he's talking to is, Sparks.
Hello, Miss. What is this clearly not military woman doing here?
She's his friend and also fellow military officer.
Then how come?
Oh wait, never mind. Not this woman. This woman is, oh my god, I've seen her in so many things before, I'm sure. Yes, so this guy here is, John Henry Irons' rival in the military, played by Judd Nelson,
boy.
Nathaniel Burke. His bright plan is similar to that in the Hulk's origin. Let's increase the intensity and see what happens. Instead
What
of,
could possibly go wrong?
Instead of, consulting with the guy who actually invented the dang thing.
What did you see, Jova? Where's your desire to play God?
Uh-huh. By the way, there's quite a guest star in this movie who you are not going to believe is actually in.
Yeah.
But we'll save that for later.
Well, technically, I've already said it, but sure.
Well, who, Shaft?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Shaft's not a guest star. He's actually a character in this movie. No.
Alright,
Ah,
Shaq, let's see
little
how you
John.
can do it. Oh, come on, man. It's clear as fuck, but the actors did not know
Why
how
do you
to
care so
actually
much about?
operate this thing.
I get that you want funding, but really, whatever.
No! That's some terrible CGI.
Oh, no!
Oh no!
Wow, that was a really bad effect.
Sparky! Let me call you by your...
Okay, here's the first problem with the movie. You should have gotten us to get to know these characters a bit more before this happens.
Also,
Yeah,
it's...
it sounds like this should be happening like at the 10-15 minute mark.
Wow, he is so strong to be lifting up what is clearly about a
this
rubble.
movie-
You even lift, bro.
My guess is too, because they're strict. They're limited.
And here's another problem with this movie. The pacing.
The pacing.
Yeah, like this movie should have been longer. This movie should have been 2
If
hours.
you
not
want someone to blame, apparently the editor is called John F. Link. I
Now-
guess the F stands for fuck you.
Well, to be fair,
Oh,
apparently they were
guys.
limited to 90 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised.
Pedro, it's not a good time to mention this was his second to last movie. So
And unfortunately, now the friend, Sparks, the woman, has been paralyzed, so now she'll have to be in a wheelchair.
oops.
I mean, I'm not as familiar with Steel lore, but did Steel really have a sidekick who was in a wheelchair who just happened to be female?
I don't remember. Considering the Batman thing, I wonder if they were actually trying to make a
My
parallel
guess
to
is
Barbara
Joe-
Exactly,
Gordon.
that's my point. I'm wondering if this is just a sad man's oracle. Anyway,
My guess, Joe, it's just for the sake of giving him some kind of emotional connection to a certain colleague and stuff like that.
now to this world's credit, people actually do get to Burke, and Burke
Hold on,
gets...
Shaq's trying to act.
I could have endangered even more lives. That came out wrong. Now,
Great scene.
Okay, to this world's credit,
Brilliant.
to this world's credit, Burke did get caught for what he did, and he's been dismissed from the military.
Yeah, if anything, the scene was almost hinting as if John himself was going to be trialed.
Oh, Charles. Oh, this bit coming up. Wow, the military actually seems to be A-okay with employing a weapon that injured one of their own.
Because it's America, we need to blow shit up.
Normally when something like this happens, don't the military get scared of it? Like...
Or they actually ask
Oh.
for testing. This is what testing is for.
Oh, God.
And this also causes Shaq here to quit the military, if I remember correctly.
Also, guys, him doing that sir thing was actually him trying to act serious and heartbroken.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of acting heartbroken,
get it.
you know, it's kind of a shame. As I mentioned before, Steel's kind of a supporting character of Superman. Essentially, Steel is about Jeremy Irons, a guy who takes
John
up the
Henry
mantle. Yeah, John Henry Irons.
Of
Basically,
Superman.
Basically,
Go
he
ahead,
takes up the mantle Steel, off the surname Man of Steel. It's during when Superman was quote-unquote dead after the death of Superman. And he caught on well with the audience. He was a guy who just wanted to do right by people, but do it sort of in Superman's name without having to be an emblemation of him. So basically, he goes all Iron Man and makes a freaking cool bout of iron.
Okay.
Oh god, this flying shot. Is it Michael Jackson?
I think that may be.
Can you feel the groove?
Now playing.
So basically, since this guy totally
basically,
isn't
this
gonna...
guy-
Hold on, let me put it.
Jova, I got it. The Hulk 2003 movie took inspiration from this movie's villain to create their villain.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Think about it. It's the exact same villain. A stupid military douchebag that for some reason does not understand the consequences of his acts.
Get it? He sucks at basketball, even though he's played by a basketball player. God, who wrote this?
Well, Jova, at least they're not having him play golf. So sorry, not golf. Baseball.
Baseball.
The sad thing, Pedro, was that Michael Jordan actually did do that in real life. And look at that!
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! Oh, what? You didn't have Shaq Fu in the background, but you've got an NBA arcade cabinet. Actually, was Shaq Fu made at the time of this?
Yes, it was.
think
Well,
so,
remember, this
yeah.
is 1997, Jova. By this point, the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo have already been retired.
Line? Oh.
So yeah, this guy conveniently is friends with an owner of a big multi-million-dollar company.
Let me remind you, the guy he's talking to is a video arcade manager who, on The Secret, is selling weapons to the criminal gangs, because that's what I think of when I think arcade managers.
Maybe the video game arcade thing is just a cover.
Well, apparently,
Possibly.
but it
I
feels
mean,
so
if it
random.
worked for Team Rocket, might as well.
I get that. I guess it just feels a bit random. Then again, that's not the most worst thing about this movie.
Ah, yes, back when floppies and mini CDs were the keys to hold the future.
Oh, yeah.
Does Shaq know the entire ghetto?
Apparently, because black people... God dang it.
Don't you see, Teo? Black people know everybody in the ghetto because stereotypical. Like
Because living on the street.
was this you can okay I'm willing to bet this was made by white people, the filmmakers, I mean,
Let
not
me
the
check
actors.
and see. Let's see. Directed
I
by
wouldn't be surprised, to be
directed by
honest.
Kenneth Johnson, who is.
You see, everybody, this is exactly why when it comes to movies like Black Panther, we usually get African American directors for the sake of avoiding this shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's
Oh my
white.
God! The director of this was Kenneth Johnson. He's the creator of
is
it. He's the creator of the V science fiction
And the
franchise.
6 million, he worked for the $6 million.
Oh,
man.
and look at that! It's Crazy Grandma.
Basically,
no.
get this, Pedro. The director of this movie created the Incredible Hulk series from, the Bill Bixby
80s?
series.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay, someone's career took a dive.
He made Alienation, Bionic Woman, so many acclaimed things.
Wait, really? Those are some of the best 80s shows. Like,
I don't
Jesus.
get it.
so yeah, Lizzie, for reasons that are completely unknown to me, there's an important subplot to this movie about this grandma trying to create the perfect souffle. What does this have to do with
God,
what
I
does this
completely forgot about this.
what does this have to do with anything, you might ask? Nothing. It's supposedly the comedy subplot, except it's not funny, it's just bizarre.
But hey, it's okay. We got Irma Pamela Hall in here. One of the most famous African American actresses of our time, to do a stereotypical black grandma.
Seriously, what is...
Well, at least it's not as obnoxious as the black grandma from which Performers was it? The first one or the second one?
Or,
that
for
had the annoying grandma.
Or Fat Albert, I guess.
Well, okay. To be fair,
I like Fat Albert,
No.
but whatever.
No, I
like-
actually... No, I misspoke. I think it was Norbit.
Oh God,
Yeah.
Norbit.
Yeah, there you go.
Gangs are still messing with him, like, because that's the primary problem black teenagers deal with, gangs.
I mean,
There's only that, nothing else. Brilliant.
so is this gonna be like Iron Man, where you're not making weapons for everyone, but you're making weapons for yourself, only not nearly as well executed?
Okay. I
Hold
guess
on,
I'll give.
hold on. Oh, go on.
Go ahead. Okay, I guess I'll give Shaq some credit. At the very least, he actually seems like he's somewhat trying, despite failing horribly. Whereas Michael Jordan in Space Jam, I think Doug put it best. I think he didn't even seem like he knew he was in the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. If there's one thing I will give Shaq, the man definitely does give effort. I mean,
Again, he seems to actually enjoy what he does. So
and okay, I do have to admit, what?
yes, that's
Remember, Teo, the video game arcade thing is just a cover.
not
Right.
just that. I'm surprised that by 1997 people were actually already using the key card, elevator, moving, shipping. So they're smuggling weapons in the arcades.
Yep,
I
that's
forgot,
right.
Peter. What was that MK Ultra? I think did that project, the government project, where they wanted to brainwash people with MK.
I forgot.
Wait, I think I
Uh-oh.
saw the guy on the right.
Uh-oh, guys.
So I guess video games do indeed cause
Maybe.
violence.
Yes.
Wait, what? Excuse me?
I know I shouldn't be laughing, but the timing was hilarious.
What? Who the fuck builds a weapon that shoots backwards?
Actually, I
Gee.
think that's the deal. It's malproduct. Manufactured.
That is a
Yeah, I
stupid
swear,
idea.
Guy already. Jesus.
Basically,
please.
Burke tried to steal a black man's idea, but it went just as much south as it tends to.
But
Okay.
uh,
Basically, apparently he tried to replicate Irons' design, but it turns out Burke really sucks at the whole weapons making thing.
He only exists to be a foil for the hero, so yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting concept, a white man trying to profit off of a black man, and you know what? I'm giving this movie way too much credit.
By the way, we're almost 20 minutes in and we have no hint of any superhero origin of any kind.
Yeah, you could have cut this whole weapons inside the arcade machine subplot to actually, flesh out the prologue a bit more. Why is that woman always with... Seriously, that woman is always...
Sorry, it's a trap.
Whoa.
Dead. I'm sorry, elevators do not explode when reaching the ground.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what's the punchline?
Well, Wow, they actually didn't kill the black guy.
I'm not going to bother to, call the police on this guy who clearly murdered those people. I'm just going to quietly obey and...
That's because he's into the racket as well. I guess he fears that if he denounces them, he's going to be involved as well. And his life will be over.
Basically, killing that woman and those two was Burke's idea of moving up in the operation, and hey!
Oh, yeah, this cop. This cop in particular is very incompetent. So, yeah, but why is this teenager driving in this cop car with us?
Basically, he got arrested off screen, and that's why we're doing this.
Of course.
One of my homies, get it? Get it?
But guys, irony! It turns out the place one of his homies took him to get a job at may have been that arcade place.
Oh, and that's no good.
I mean, I have nothing against stories like this. Like, I've seen plenty of stories like this done well, regardless of a nationality. And you know what? Yes, it makes sense that African Americans are not as fortunate.
And there you go. This movie now has 7 years of bad luck.
Wow. It almost feels like... Okay.
Kitty.
Movie, pick a tone. Just please pick a tone. And why is there a random bum in the movement?
Random bum. Okay, I'm honestly thinking that was a bum from a natural, real bum from the street who passed in front of the camera, and the director just didn't bother to do a second take.
No, we just needed someone to test with. I think. Oh no, it's just. Yeah, there you go.
You might wanna, be quiet, not alert, not alert people to your position.
To be fair, the Sonic gun I think was already a big clue.
Still though, you'd think maybe you wouldn't be yelling, yeah, we did all this, like maybe, in case somebody might be witnessing.
Excitement!
Oh right, yeah, this is supposed to be exciting. I'm just more caught up with the fact that...
I have to say, for how shitty that is, I will take Batman and Robin over this because at least I have fun with that. Here, look at this. The introduction goes way too slow.
I mean, I know it's weird for me to say this. While this is technically a better movie than Batman and Robin, Batman and Robin feels like it has more dignity than this movie, in the sense that Batman and Robin was more proud of itself. Now, granted, that could have been a detriment in many areas, but this movie almost feels like it's ashamed at sometimes to try and be a superhero film.
Not just that, but it's not even just that too. Like a slow intro before the superhero stuff comes can work if it's something like in Doctor Strange or in Batman Begins, where the backstory is complex enough so that it warrants a slow pace. Steel is a much more simple backstory, so it doesn't really warrant a slow pace.
Not only
like
that,
this.
Here it's unbalanced. The stuff that's supposed to entertain you just doesn't do.
Yeah, it's like Pedro said, Steel's one of the most simple heroes to get. He's a black guy who...
What is that cop doing? He was just dancing around.
Yeah, the gay cop. The gay cop that the nostalgia critic put it out. Yeah.
Point.
Wait, so...
Shaq, you cannot... I know you...
No, by all means...
So, let me get this straight. Shaq... So let me get this straight. Shaq goes to try to stop the criminals, but the cop stays in the car. Yeah, that seems logical.
That sounds alright.
And she completely let someone from the back get out just like that. What?
Oh boy.
And the cop died.
Dead.
So basically, it was just an excuse to have somebody else who he likes die. Okay.
Initial accident, I guess.
Oh, I think it's now that we're going to get my favorite line in the
sorry,
movie.
Nobody told me Nick Fury was going to be in this movie.
I was just surprised they didn't get Samuel L. Jackson for this. You'd think they would.
I guess he was busy doing something else.
I think he was
at the
busy
time.
with Unbreakable at the time.
Wasn't also Pulp Fiction
Unbreakable was only in
around this time?
2001
Oh,
or
it's
2.
my bad.
I think.
Was he in Jurassic Park or in the filming for it? I mean-
Actually, let me check. Give me a say. I'll quick. check
Jurassic
really
Park
quick.
was in 1993.
Oh my god, I think she's alive!
But she's gonna die now. Yeah, we're gonna get my favorite line now. It's on now.
Vengeance will be mine, and you will know that I am the basketball player that will rule these streets back to their golden days.
I love
of
how
peace.
he's not even actually running. He's just
Strutting.
strutting. Like
Okay,
seriously.
I get
you-
I get that he's a giant of a man, but he can cover ground really easily just by
He's
walking.
a
but come
basketball
on.
player. Like, I'm pretty sure basketball players,
Yeah,
Fun.
but he's a sportsman. Like he's in very strong physical shape. He should be able to run.
I will have to admit, sometimes I do wonder if. Oh!
No.
Yeah, he is that strong. Gee, I just love
Maybe if
electrical.
he had a suit, I could buy that. But
Gee,
no.
guys, I just love electrical barbed fences that just do nothing.
I mean, I get he has gloves, but he should feel some pain.
Come on, Shaq, just break through that fence.
Oh no!
Oh no, a train is slowly coming
He's
to
about
him!
to be get decapitated.
It's not like he could just move, he's completely knocked out.
Oh, okay.
And this warrants an epic music. Okay then.
Okay, I do have to wonder if.
This looks more. This is more like a cell parody.
Like, I get that Shaq may not have been the best actor back then, but a lot of this I have to wonder if the director was even trying.
Hey,
Like,
Shaq, you wanna, pick up the pace, run?
I can just imagine. What if he was actually directed to run like this? Because again, Shaq
That
can
wouldn't
run.
surprise me, Jova.
I mean, and again, the fact that the director used to do all these great stuff, and then now you mess
Also,
up.
the music is deliberately, copying the Mission Impossible theme.
I know, right? Hey,
Well, at least the composer's trying to make this exciting.
true.
Yeah,
The
bless him.
music is definitely the best consistent thing in this movie.
Oh no!
Oh no, I have to stop to. Never mind, I'm fine.
This is the most boring chase sequence in the history of cinema.
Yeah, and
Are
it's
you
the
serious,
slowest.
movie? Are you serious, movie?
Look at this.
And it's just the beginning. Like, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're supposed
I've
to be.
I've seen more
superhero.
I've seen more exciting chase sequences in Portuguese 80s shows.
Were they boring normally
Soap
in the
operas,
80s?
you mean?
No, well, not soap operas.
Well, soap
proper,
operas, that's easy.
more proper shows. Like soap operas don't have chase sequences too.
Occasionally, I guess. Oh no!
What?
Why does the movie have so many fake outs like that?
Oh, I think he's
Also,
gonna do it.
also that guy with the gun, he kind of looked like a grown-up Jaden Smith.
Wow,
Yeah.
that has got to be one of the slowest moving tipping over trains I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a grown-up Jaden Smith, doesn't he?
Go
Yeah.
find the Ursa.
How?
Because he's Shaq, baby.
Maybe if this were Kazam or
Because
Shaq
it's on,
too.
Jova, because it's on.
It's
Of course.
personal.
Wow.
This acting. Oh no, Shaq!
My God, does he
Wait.
suck?
He just got shot in the back by one of those.
And of course, the
weapons.
guy has an eye patch because he's evil.
Not only that, the previous shot established that it's even a really bad eye patch.
This is where he tries to
Oh,
talk through his
this bit.
teeth.
Apparently, he couldn't tell the police about the weapons because they're military top secret. Because
course.
Lord knows the police aren't allowed to know something from the military on this level.
Buy now for $49.99.
It has to be super secret.
So,
No,
No
never mind the
possible
fact that he
single
just
way.
saw it.
Never mind.
so do military trucks usually have, you know,
okay, is he
cord phones?
What?
Is he supposed to have like super strength or something? Like, don't get me wrong.
Apparently.
Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, John Henry Irons is pretty strong in the DC.
For
comics
comparison,
universe, but
the original character started out as a nerd scientist.
yeah, here's the thing, though. I mean, sure, he may be a bodybuilder, but I don't think he's that strong.
Hey, man, come on.
And the award for one of the most dumb costumes you'll ever see goes to this guy.
This guy. Not just that, but look at that.
Look at that. Yes, hey, that was us. That was us.
Yeah,
on
that
the
was
team.
us, yeah.
Damn.
Hey, guys, let's go tell that cop over there that was us. Like, how
Also,
stupid
Shaq has.
do you have
This
to...
is the
oh.
best disguise ever to go into a nightclub.
So let me get this straight. Shaq can track these guys down just fine, yet the police have not kept their trail.
Don't you see, Joe? Because he's a superhero. Superheroes do not need cops. What? Oh.
Ooh.
Well, at least the whole homeboy thing wasn't as embarrassing as in Cold as Ice.
Well, Cool as Ice was white people trying
Please
to act
refrain
black.
for showing me Shaq's face as this close.
You know, I can just imagine this guy.
Why are you touching his ear with the pole?
Because he's quirky.
You know, I can just imagine the backstory behind Pirate Guy. You're like, how did he lose his eye? What is this guy's story?
Oh.
we're just going to let this guy get away.
nothing.
Slash,
I guess it's a code.
I guess. Slats. By the way, Slats here is played by Hill Harper. Francis Eugene Hill Harper. He's an American actor and author. He's known for his roles in CIS New York, Limitless, and The Good Doctor.
So basically, he's a TV actor.
Films too. Let's see. He was in 2000's The Visit, so not the M. Night Shyamalan one.
Oh, Hill Harper, he's the... Oh, I get it, what he was doing in CSI New York. He's the coroner. Jeez. Seriously, he started his career like this?
Yep. Well,
Jesus.
it just
Oh,
said-
even better!
Wait.
His starting career was Pumpkinhead too!
Not just that, too. Why is Shaq suddenly now a construction worker?
Well, he had to get a new
Because,
job somewhere.
I guess, but I wish we could have seen that, though.
Celine
So this
Dion,
is an
that
hospital
you?
for
veterans.
physically challenged people,
For veterans. who've
or just
lost their-
veterans, just
Yeah,
veterans.
veterans.
Okay.
And now his partner, Sparks, is now confined to a wheelchair. Again! Were they just trying to write off
Oh yeah, this is the
historical
scene where
hype?
he carries her through the room, isn't it?
How do you think I'm doing?
Yeah, Shaq, pro tip, that's never the way to, interact or properly empathize with someone in that condition, but... Yeah, Shaq, this isn't working in the slightest.
You know what's interesting? The
Oh
way
my god,
the
oh
way
my god. This actually is one of the better scenes. Mainly from her acting, though.
True, but here's an interesting thing, Jova. the way she's being directed in this scene, it kind of sounds like they're trying to imply that she became blind because of the accident, because she's not even looking at him. Like, look at the way she's acting. It looks like this is exactly the kind of acting you'd expect from a blind character. It's weird, but she's not blind because we're gonna see her do things visually. Oh, there it goes. So now she's looking at him. Like, seriously, what was up with her? I guess it's supposed to imply that she's.
No, she basically hated him so much, or at first she didn't want to look at him in the face, I guess.
Yep.
But it wasn't his fault, though.
Well, there's actually an interesting character.
Pedro, I think the characters in this movie are extremely mono-dimensional, so I'm not expecting, that much from.
And now, hey, guys, I'm sure
Why did he break the window?
Well, Pedro, did you see one flew over the...
open it properly.
Well, Pedro, we all saw one flew over the cuckoo's nest now, didn't we?
Yes.
I can't. No.
This is not that kind of movie, though.
No, at all.
What's this? Okay, remember, this is a veteran's place.
That's fine.
And the veterans...
Shaq, you could just,
everyone
we're just going to allow this guy, who for all we know is just a kidnapper, to take her. Yay!
Oh, hey, Boomer.
Also, Doggo.
Boomer! Will Boomer live?
We'll see. Uncle Joe.
I forgot also, which city is this supposed
Oh yeah,
to
there
be?
you go. There you go. This junkyard just comes out of nowhere. When did he have the time to build this, and how? And
it's technically a junkyard owned by
toilet,
Uncle Joe,
aka Shaft.
Base.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Don't you see, girl? It's to help the disabled folk feel good. I mean, we totally have a proper role for you in this movie.
Because this is the solution. Get rid of guns by creating even more guns. Duh.
Yes, the American way.
Shaft, why?
What are you
Ladies
doing?
and gentlemen,
Why are you here?
I'm honestly not even convinced by the whole paycheck excuse, because considering his status, he would have been stinking rich by this point.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Richard Roundtree. He is officially called the first black action hero for his portrayal of private detective John Shaft. He was...
Which he was very cool. He knew how to do with the ladies.
Heck, he even had a cameo appearance as a character in the 2000 film Shaft, which starred Samuel Jackson as the nephew of the original John Shaft. Like, yeah, let me put it like this. He's so big that Samuel Jackson was looking up to this guy.
Why is he here? Why?
Because we needed a big-name actor. Not like we're gonna have him do anything.
I mean, I guess it's better be than Chris Tucker.
So, yeah, this is all it took for her to get over her emotional scarring. Okay. Oh, yeah, I think it's that we're gonna get that stupid scene where she falls from the chair and they don't help her. Isn't it?
Let's see.
Mm.
Oh yeah, there's these scenes where she acts a bit bitter, which I guess has to do with the loss of her legs.
Or maybe also the fact that she was brought here out against her own free will.
Forcefully.
Oh, but Pedro, that was supposed to be meant cheerful. The flute says so.
Wait,
wait.
what arcade was?
Oh my God, Batman forever! Wow.
So you managed to get Batman Forever as an arcade, but not Shaq Fu.
That feels like such a...
Well, Batman Forever belongs to Warner Brothers too, so obviously...
I guess, yeah.
You'd think they would have paid the small license at the time.
Remember,
Not
Theo,
only
Shaq
that,
Fu belongs to... remember, Theo, the original Shaq Fu... Well, I think at this one probably is public domain at this point. I seriously doubt EA renewed their trademark on it.
No, that's the thing. I thought
there we go.
Shaq had so... Oh.
Okay, prepare
Okay,
to be disturbed,
Theo,
audience.
correct me if I'm wrong, by all means. In this situation, shouldn't I help her get up? And
At
help
the
against
very
each other.
fucking least.
But Tio, this film is telling me that if I try and help a disabled person, then I'm belittling them, saying that they can't do it on their own. No, I need to let them.
That's okay, Jova. What you just said may be true, but apply to a different context, like saying that a person who has partial locomotion, like here in this case, which she can move her hands, may need to move herself from, for example, from the wheelchair to her bed, for example. That actually is encouraging the person to actually do it for herself, because otherwise they get spoiled and don't manage. But in this situation, this is just wrong.
I mean, it's in the middle of a junkyard where there could be plenty of stuff on the floor she could injure herself
And
on.
you laugh. Shaq, you're a terrible person in this. Sorry, I love you, man, but this is just wrong.
For as much as Shaq has issues, I am honestly starting to believe.
Well,
it
to
was
be fair, I didn't write this too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna chalk this movie as one that's more the failure of the director and the writers.
Oh, Kenneth was also the writer of this.
Again, the guy who brought us some of the best 80s shows. What happened here?
I don't know.
I guess he went really old.
I don't want to believe he was.
Whimsy! What
Yes.
you told you? Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Someone actually wrote
You
this.
know, guys, here's a better
Jack
idea.
Kirby is rolling in his grave.
Why couldn't Shaft have been the sidekick? Like, Lord knows, we don't want to see Shaft actually doing stuff in this movie.
Oh, finally we see John with an actual hammer. Might as well page the original myth.
You know what they could have done? They could have had it like a compromise where she manages to at the very least get her upper half up with her hands, and then Shaq comes in and help her with the rest. That would have been a nice compromise.
Hey, yeah, here's how I would have directed the scene. Have Shaft go over to try and help her, but then she insists on trying to do it herself, and then he backs off.
Oh,
when
here you
he
go.
sees-
The ET finger.
And of course, this douchebag has to ruin the scene.
Don't
Also,
you,
is
Not
that
that, not that the scene was really good to begin
don't you
with.
see,
but-
though, Tio? He's the guy who us kids gotta relate to.
Also, Joe, is Shaq having a Superman tattoo on his left arm?
Yeah,
oh
it
my
looks
God,
like it.
No,
Yeah.
it's called Man of Steel. Okay. Yep. No. Actually, no.
It is.
actually
It is Superman. That's Superman's nickname too.
Wait.
Man of
Yeah.
Steel.
Yeah.
I thought originally it was for his music
Okay.
company, but no, it actually works.
Points for a clever Easter egg.
Yeah.
Not only that, I actually wondered if Warner Bros. Actually wanted to do, to establish a primitive version of a cinematic universe of DC. Because remember, the original plans for I think it was Batman and Robin, or at least a movie after that, would have been with Nicolas Cage as Superman, obviously, but also Nicolas Cage as the Scarecrow, with callbacks to previous Batman movies, including the original, with a cameo from the Joker.
Mark
Which
Hamill?
Which is interesting. Because the
Oh,
known
goody,
Superman.
here we go.
Hallelujah, praise be.
Which is interesting because the Superman of this particular period in time was Dean Cain from the New Adventures of Lois and Clark.
I like
get
the
it
song.
that gospel is a great thing and everything, but I think it's the worst thing you could use for a montage.
Well,
of
remember,
the kind.
the composer for this movie is a gospel guy. So.
I
That's
mean-
the thing. Up until this far, he has been used fitting themes.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
wondering? If
Eh,
those-
well, I don't know. I think this works fine as a montage, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I have to agree with Miko. I mean, it's supposed to be a montage, one that's uplifting, and what better than to use for gospel when the song is literally called "Stand Up," which I guess sort of fits in thematically. Like I said, ironically, the best thing consistently about this movie is the music. It's like the music tells a better story than.
There you go,
There
Theo.
you go.
Man of Steel.
That's actually a nice little touch.
Again,
there.
that clever Easter egg belongs in a much better movie.
Heck, a
Aw.
lot of this cast belongs in a better movie. You know what? I'll say this right now. While Shaq himself may have been an issue, even I think that, there could have been a much better movie at play here if we had a different director and writer or something to sustain the quality here. I mean, Shaq's even got the looks.
Oh, there we go. The armor.
Oh, I spoke too soon. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to see one of the worst portrayals of costume to live action? Oh yeah, I guess we needed Sparks because she's good at communications.
Oh, okay. It's Sparky is Shaq's girl on the chair.
So
Again,
when did
the
we
parallel
establish
is
this?
with Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, well, I have to wonder how much of this was supposed to be an actual character and how much of it was supposed to just be a weak Oracle thing. If only because...
Hey, Peter, can I be your guy in the chair? Every superhero has a guy in the chair.
And there you go. Even though it's not his signature, but at least we remember about the hammer.
And
I will give this movie credit. Like, it's not boring. It's actually quite fun to make fun of. I think, at least.
And I will give it here when the actors do get to actually try, and Lord knows that's a rarity. We can get some good lines, and please,
Shaft,
please.
no.
Oh, Shaft, no.
No, please stop rubbing it in, please. No.
A field test.
Again, it's so wonderful to see that she got over her emotional and physical scarring so rapidly. You know,
Oh,
it's a good thing to know. It's a good thing to know that this kind of thing can be overcome so easily.
Oh, you think that's bad, Pedro? Wait till we get to the climax with her.
I know what happens, Joe. I saw this movie back when it first came out on TV, not on cinemas.
Get it, guys? We're gonna fight fire with fire.
And I also saw the Nostalgic Critic review plenty of times, so don't worry, I remember what happens.
Guys, we're gonna fight fire.
Again, I really like the main theme.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
That was...
No.
Okay.
No, Theo, that would only be in 2013.
Okay. That line belongs in a
That's
better
a terrible
movie.
helmet.
So, what do we have after one of the
Okay,
best
you know
scenes
what?
in the movie?
Okay, you know what, movie? You just ruined your own Easter egg, you know, because the Man of Steel tattoo on Shaq's arm, that worked fine because it was just a background thing. Now you're literally comparing Man of Steel with the actual Steel superhero.
That's also the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Steel originally was born in the comics as basically the replacement of Superman.
Oh, it's now. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for quite possibly the least possible to take seriously superhero suit in the history of cinema.
I wonder if someone was so audacious.
The bat nipples are freaking Jesus compared to this.
Yes. That
That
hammer is...
It's the helmet that ruins everything.
Yeah, the helmet is clearly rubber.
Not just the helmet, too. His outfit doesn't even look like it's made of steel. It looks like it's made of rubber.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Which I think it actually is. And the hammer just looks unimpressive.
Like, I'm sorry, even for the 90s, nobody was convinced by this.
I mean, Spawn, who came out, I think, 2 years after this, had way better practical effect and CGI for the costume of Spawn, by the
Now
way.
stop.
Heck, even Batman Returns had better practical effects than this.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Okay, dude. Now stop your evil ways, or I will bad act at you some more.
No, please, Shaq, spare me.
Oh, look, it's one of those rich assholes.
I wonder if this is a cameo of someone.
Ah! It's an empowered black guy! Shoot him!
Hold on, it's the escalator scene. Dun, 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 dun. I really like the music.
Oh, you know, maybe...
Damn! This unimpressively going away.
This has to be a self-parody at this point.
It really does feel like that. And yet, no, this was supposed to be serious. This was supposed to be our big step. The first black superhero movie.
Okay, I'll give it. I guess I'll give it. I guess I'll give it. Let's give it some credit.
That joke was funny.
All right, Taylor. Let's give at least some credit. At least it didn't take. At least it took way shorter than Reb Brown's Captain America movie for him to finally start fighting crime in costume.
True.
And I'll give it that. The joke about the bum thinking that he was high when he saw him, that was funny.
Have you ever seen the Reb Brown Captain America movie from the 70s, Jova?
I saw Spoonie's review for it.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. It takes 75 minutes to see Steve finally put on the
Hey,
fucking costume.
God.
And even then, he acts more
Allow
villainous
me.
than everything.
Don't make me point at you.
Is that Jim Carrey?
I think that maybe before he was famous.
Jova, not for nothing, but Jim was at the peak of his popularity when this movie was made.
Then why
Yeah.
would he be in this movie?
Remember, Jova, this Liar Liar, one of his very best movies, came out this year.
True.
No
yeah.
one
So-
bothered to shoot at his head?
That seems to be well. Oh wait. Maybe it's like with Batman, where the thing is magnetic, so it attracts bullets.
No, but I don't mean the helmet. I mean the actual chin and everything. If you leave a part, exposed.
Well, Tio, maybe the steel is made.
Holy
of...
shit!
All right, time to drop the hammer.
my God.
Let's see.
Please let this be cool. Please let this be cool. You have a clear way to make this.
Actually, it's a bazooka.
What?
It's not a hammer.
Oh no! Just to see, guys, it's both a hammer, but it's also a bazooka with the gun hidden inside the cage.
Hold on.
Stop, baby.
It's hammer time, but you're not using that. Okay,
Ladies and
Shaq,
gentlemen, did I mention that this movie really loves its iconic quotes?
it's hammer time. Okay, Kenneth Johnson. Here's the quote. That hammer timeline, for as cheesy as it is, could have worked if you used the actual hammer, not with the fucking bazooka thing. You can even get the context for the line right.
Oh.
Electromagnet.
Well, what do you know? I was right. The armor's actually magnetic, so basically, I guess. Oh god, they literally had that attached to his butt. Like. Look out, he's a magnetic man!
He's still freaky.
Also, the gun is literally attached to his rear end. Thanks, movie. Also, so I was right. It turns out his armor's magnetic, so I guess that attracts the bullets to the armor away from his face.
I guess.
Brilliant.
I just realized this is one of the worst superhero movies, and yet this is one of the few times where they actually explain that stuff. Double-edged sword much?
Ugh. You know what? I'm gonna go a step further. I'll probably consider the Electra movie a better superhero movie than this.
Whoa, that's not taken lightly. It's the Electra
I don't know,
movie
Teo.
you're
That
talking
movie's just
about.
painful. This movie at the very least can be fun.
But yes, this is fun. But in terms of actually being about the the superhero steel and everything, it's a complete travesty when you think
Yeah,
everything.
it is. This is like a parody of the comics, not an
I
adaptation.
mean, at the very for how much bizarre, bad, boring, and nonsense.
Oh, hold on.
Electra was,
No, you're not. You're not Spider-Man.
That's a terrible graph.
Okay. I think we're at the point that this is one of those cases where if this movie had a different genre, basically parody, this might have been received a lot better.
Yeah, change this into a comedy, and there you go. Problem solved.
I mean,
Like Ant-Man. Which basically turned a nice movie basically into something that shouldn't be taken too
Well,
much
yeah.
seriously.
yeah.
It's one of those cases where, because Marvel knows that let's just face it, the whole concept for Ant-Man is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they took a more lighthearted approach. Well, it's still
Yeah.
having a fair amount of heart for the record.
I think
It's
what
just
hap-
that they knew to not take it too seriously.
it
Yeah.
helped that they
Only when
had.
it was necessary.
It helped that Ant-Man also gave them an opportunity to have a movie chock full of humor without risking, any tonal issues as well. Honestly, that's the main issue with this movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of problems with this movie. But so much would have been received better if we weren't supposed to take all this stuff so seriously. Johnny!
No.
Johnny, you may actually die! Also,
What did you think was gonna happen, you dipshit?
Also-
You're carrying a suit that's supposedly made of steel, even though it looks like rubber. What did you think was gonna happen? Gravity kind of works its ways,
Also,
you
I just
dipshit.
want to state, with his gloves don't have an inner palm, which means it's his bare hand underneath that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Granted,
even
the
want
movie
to...
established that Shaq is super strong already.
Why not make the entire glove, steel? Because Lord knows, I wouldn't want my palms to be covered by bulletproof steel.
Again, I really wonder if nowadays someone is so audacious to try a cosplay of this.
Oh, I'm pretty
Shaq.
sure there is. Oh, and look at that.
Shaq, you really suck at this.
Best superhero ever.
No. No. And apparently part
I
of his
have
armor's
no
broken.
idea how he got away, but whatever.
Oh no!
Wow, only just one night and already the grappling hook fell?
And he falls into the trash.
I thought these two
Obvious metaphor.
I thought these two were supposed to be like the best weapon makers out there. Like, and they made a grappling hook that broke in just a night.
Well, remember, remember, Pedro, this was us taking it out for a test drive.
I guess, but
And it works spectacularly.
Okay, the police going after a black guy more so than the actual bad guys? Topical. Oh, he has a motorcycle.
Motorcycle come out of nowhere. Okay.
I mean, I guess it would have been too much to ask for the Steel who can fly thanks to his suit, but actually, I have to wonder if they actually were going for the more realistic Steel vibe, because I'm pretty sure even in his first incarnations, Steel could fly.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a surrogate of Superman anyway.
I mean, and hey, it's not like we had, Superman movies before this. Oh wait, no, we did! And they pulled off flying effects relatively fine for the time. So why the motorcycle? Are they trying to make him Batman? Which again is not helping with the whole...
No, you said what? You said, you know what? You know what's actually sadly more easy to take serious than this?
What?
No, Fat Man,
I guess,
boy blubber, and Fat Man.
At this point, yeah, I guess.
Guys, look, it's the 90s method of hacking into the traffic system.
I've got a stitch on my side.
I'm
getting
getting
too
too
old
old.
to see this.
Let's see, how many cliche quotes do you want to spout, movie?
Okay. Point for a funny facial expression.
Oh yeah. Again, this movie works so much better as a comedy. Again, it's a shame that it had to be the first serious take of African American superheroes of all time for them to screw up this badly. Again, just like how Joel Schumacher messed up The Wiz. God, we have bad luck with this stuff.
Oh,
Well,
look, it's Grandma.
Just
Oh,
be
right,
glad,
the
Joe, when things
souffle.
are picking up now.
Yeah.
That was a terrible recorded type of line.
Gee, I wonder if it's a guy I may actually know, Grandma. That would be just ironic now, wouldn't it?
But what about the souffle?
Oh, don't worry. We'll get back to the souffle.
Don't worry, Tim. We'll get back to the souffle. It's an important plot point.
Yeehaw! There you go, folks.
The best superhero ever.
The superhero who was on the mission to bring peace just said yeehaw on a motorcycle.
To be fair, I'll still take him over 1990s Captain America live action.
Fair. Although,
Yeah.
to be fair, isn't that kind of a little too easy? Like, the guy literally decapitates people
Wow,
on
the
a
Batcave has nothing on this.
Well, nothing suspicious here
Well-
in a junkyard of all places.
It's a good thing. Is this which town is this in? New York?
Yeah, I guess. New
Let me
York.
check.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing the NYPD is run by complete morons.
That would be quite something considering how it's in New York of all places. Let's see.
Doesn't really state, I think.
Actually, no. I think this is Los Angeles.
Okay, to be fair, at the very least, like
Yes,
that facial
that-
expression of that guy clearly was supposed to be for the audience. at
Although
least.
that does make me
Seriously.
wonder, though, is Batman actually someone in this universe, or is
well,
the
well, yeah,
Supposedly.
well, yeah, this is supposedly the DC universe, so yeah.
Again, I do get the feeling that DC and Warner Bros. Wanted to test the waters for this.
Imagine if this movie had actually worked, and this had been the start
Can
of
you
the
imagine a
cinematic.
cinematic universe with movies like this one, at least 2 per year? God.
Not only that, but
Honestly, Theo, I mean, I know for as controversial as this may seem, I still would take something this unintentionally funny over something like Batman v Superman.
yeah,
Honestly.
okay. I do have to agree with Pedro. It's like, well, again, this movie is incredibly stupid, yet this movie feels closer to being an actual comic book movie.
Poor
than
doggo, come on.
The sad thing is that this movie
at the
feels
very
closer
least,
to
this
being a
comic
comic book movie than the current DC Cinematic Universe movies.
Wonder Woman aside, of course.
Look at that! More Batman Forever and NBA Slam, but still no Shaq Fu. Like, again, couldn't you just called up EA and said, "Hey, EA, we want to showcase that game of yours"? Like, was Shaq Fu already hated? Oh, wait, that's right. We have a bad guy in this movie.
For as bad as this movie is, at the very least, it feels like it's somewhat having fun with itself instead of just being cynical and.
Yeah, again, I mean, this, unlike Justice League or Batman v Superman or Man of Steel, doesn't feel like it's trying to take itself so seriously. And that's one thing to remember about some superhero films. It's like, well, sure, there's a time and place to have dead serious superheroes, but when you overdo it, you overdo it. This, at the very least, seems to have...
That was the big problem with the DCU, where they tried turning Superman into Batman, even though that doesn't make a lick of sense.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be the opposite sides of the same coin.
Oh, goody, this bit. Ah!
Okay, just because you admit
Subtle.
that the bad guy is unsubtle, this is just about it.
Duh.
So let me get this straight. We have golden necklace. We have an eye patch. We have how many stereotypical traits can this character
A
have?
peg leg,
Let's
I
see,
guess,
he's
at
bald,
this
he's
point.
black, he's got slang, he chews nicotine. Come on.
Man,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Wow. Drug dealing, of course. How many more cliches you want to run off?
He steals
Ah,
candies from
wow.
babies.
Eat the hot dog, don't be one. I could just imagine them
On
thinking...
the background down there, you can see Dr. Lautrec looking at children falling from trees, like he implied in the game.
Guys.
No, seriously. Okay,
Yeah,
Guys, did you not hear the important moral? Eat the hot dog, don't be the hot dog. I could
But
just see that.
Jova, Freakazoid told me something else, that you are the winner!
Yes.
So, oh right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Freakazoid into the DCU when?
Wow, and here we have the same bank robbers
are you
in the
doing?
same car again. Oh, why not? The sewer.
By the way, Theo, it's Weenie, not Wiener.
Hey, look
Oh,
at that
sorry.
guy. Hill Harper in the sewer. Is this kind of a fitting message for how he kind of sunk to this movie?
Keep in mind, again, CSI New York picked up his career, at least for a while.
Actually, you know what? Theo makes me bring up a good point. Freakazoid was easier to take more seriously than this.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be a parody of superheroes, mind you.
I'm not even going to bother comparing this to Deadpool.
Nobody can save you this time, Freakazoid. That's why you're wrong, Loeb. My new psychic will save me. Handman! Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Why
Okay,
the composer went Danny Elfman all of a sudden?
Bless him, he's trying.
I mean, yeah. I'll give the composer this also. He seems to have a good dose of variety under his belt.
Well, remember too, this was back when '89 Batman was still.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Oh my God, Jova! I just realized the video game company this guy is presiding over. It's
Yay.
Konami. It has to be.
Makes so much sense. Houston, should I have another take on that line? That felt a bit weak.
Also, do we need a first clear shot of the dog?
Don't you see, Tia?
Don't worry. If I remember correctly, Boomer does live.
Let's pray so.
Hmm?
Put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
It's funny you mention that. The Federal Reserve of... Oh, yeah. So this takes place in Los Angeles.
So let me get this straight. These villains' plan is to quickly and unsubtly just blow shit up, and they think this will in no way get them caught.
In the
seen.
middle of Los Angeles,
Just because we're using military equipment.
Now, look, I get that Los Angeles is one of the most crime-ridden cities, even in real life, but...
Jova, apparently from what I just saw between a lot of things, including the Airborne cartoon, apparently Detroit seems to be taking the cake for that.
Well, yeah, that's Detroit, but Los Angeles is also up there. I mean, hey, I guess there's a reason they have Ace Attorney take place in Los Angeles in the English version. Hey,
That's just the thing too. Americans and their in-jokes that they only get.
You know,
Only they get.
you know, though, now that I'm thinking about it, though, it's a shame they didn't have this take place in Metropolis. I mean, okay, granted, I guess then you would pretty much have to include Superman, but hey, even the Supergirl movie found a way around that, and that was the Supergirl movie.
Basically, Jova, in the Earthworm Jim cartoon, Jim is looking in the Idiot's Guide to Dangerous Places for places where...
For villain's lair.
Okay.
And one of the choices is Detroit.
Okay, I want to point you out, guys. Whenever these weapons hit something that's not living, it's incredibly devastating. Yet whenever these weapons...
You might wanna, be quiet!
Yeah. Anyone else notice that whenever these weapons actually hit a human being, it seems to be just it just knocks them out instead of killing them?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, they hit Shaq in the back, they hit those two cops in the chest, yet they all live, yet whenever they...
Worst henchman ever.
Okay, so apparently the hammer doubles as a gun. I guess that...
Oh my god, it's a gun blade!
No,
Pedro. It's a hammer blade, kind of.
No, Pedro,
So
it's a gun hammer.
God Eater took inspiration from this for the God Arc.
Don't you see, guys? It's a hammer gun! That sounds way cooler than it
Why
actually
does Namco
is.
Bandai have to take so much inspiration from weird Western shit?
Maybe it's their ploy. Maybe they just make bets with someone saying, we can take some of the most weirdest stuff and make it gold.
Because unpredictability?
I suppose.
Hey, Burke! Does that
should
guy...
have killed them.
Hey, Burke! Does that guy remind you of someone?
That should have killed them.
And they're somehow alive. I guess it's to keep him being a hero.
Don't worry, Jova. This building is abandoned.
No. It wasn't just that. The vehicle they were in, too. Oh.
You're about to get the blues?
I think it's a code name.
Maybe that's the name of the street?
Or the gang.
Well, the cops, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's the cops
yeah.
because blue uniform. Here we go. Ah, that worked.
Huh. Okay. That was actually a smart thing to do.
Also, our intimidating villains.
Oh
so
no,
far
the
is done
T-1000 is
nothing.
coming. The T-1000 is arriving at Cyberdyne.
That's a dead down sound effect.
Okay, Shaq.
Like someone spitting.
Okay, Shaq, let me walk you through this. Step 1, aim. Step 2, fire.
Wasn't
okay?
that rule 96, aim?
Yes, rule number 96, aim.
Also, Shaq, obviously hitting the body of the tank is not working. Why not try shooting the windows?
Also, I swear I saw this actor who played the
I think that guy is from Die Hard.
He was in ER, Babylon 5.
Why am I not surprised?
Hey. Oh, man.
Well, I'm just gonna look up at this and,
Again, is it wonderful how cops in Detroit are complete morons?
Go fuck yourself in the ass.
Well, actually, Heavy Rain was took place in Philadelphia, so.
Well, yeah, but considering the writing was similar to this one for this.
I swear that this cop's eyes, like seriously, it's like his eyes almost about to burst from his skull.
It's some particular genetics, like for example, Neil deGrasse Tyson also has those.
I think we've
Shaq
seen-
looked like he was about to drop a turd. Look at that. He's like, "Arrgh." The turret? Sparkle,
What?
sparkle, sparkle. That's
yeah, okay.
incredibly dangerous.
but it's a good deterrent.
Like, what about the other civilians' cars?
Okay, I get that you don't want to be caught by the cops because, you know, secret identity, all that shit, but wasn't there a better way to do this?
Again, maybe if he flew like he could in the comics.
Oh boy, time for some mounted turret actions, I guess. Whoa.
Steel? What are you doing?
No!
And
What
you-
the fuck are you doing?
And you nearly killed that guy.
Holy fuck. Our hero, everyone.
And he smiles while doing it.
I mean, Ben Affleck's Daredevil had better morality.
Yes, you can make it, Steel.
Oh, and no one notices this.
Don't you just
That-
love
that-
it? Don't you just love it how people
Wait,
manage
did
to
this
pull
suddenly
this
turn
stuff
into the
off?
Knight Rider?
Don't you just love
Or
how
a Scooby-Doo. Arrgh. Yeah, can I just point out that the villain so far has done nothing but standing behind a computer screen and laughing?
like this
But Theo,
guy's-
that's what evil military douchebags do.
I mean,
Oh, look,
also not
neo-Nazis.
Nazis. Like,
LA
also, I mean, say what you want about Marvel doing the cliche of having the villain being a clone, kind of like of a hero, but at least it's better than this.
Yeah, like seriously, this is Iron Man 2 levels of let's have the corporate guy be the bad guy.
I'm not commentating on what just happened. Even the Italian mafia wants that.
Wow. Just a scratch.
Well, okay, Theo, let's ask ourselves this. What's the worst use of their funds, this or the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon?
That's tough.
Oh, wait. Even better to you. Even better
I
to you.
mean-
Which is worse, this or them funding Leo the Lion?
Oh god. I swear there is some good animation coming from here.
Or how about Legend of the Titanic? God.
We've beaten
Okay,
that
okay,
horse.
okay.
so let's,
In general, drove anything that Mondo TV did, but yeah.
So,
Wow, I gotta
yeah,
say, just getting a scratch from all that action on his chin.
No, that requires saturation, you know.
No, you think that Nathaniel Burke, the guy who misused your weapon, the guy who was humiliated and ousted by the military because you gave testimony, the guy who clearly wanted to profit off of your weapons, might be behind this stuff? Guys, I think he must be an amazing
Look at that, we're
detective.
drinking champagne while doing this. How do you even?
Again, if only this movie were a parody, it would make it so much better. Hey, you know what's sad? Even Shaq realized that, because that's part of why Shaq Fu 2: A Legend Reborn works so well. Oh, right, we have Shaft in this movie. Do we want to maybe do something with
Use
him?
him. Hmm. That's
Is
not
it-
good motivation, I guess.
So, Uncle Joe, by the way, my uncle's also named Joe. Uncle Joe, are you his actual uncle, or is
Jova,
Uncle Joe
what
just
is
a term?
what is with you or your associates being heavily, having names tied to shitty products?
I don't know. And I don't...
Oh, hold on, guys.
All right, the
gr-
souffle.
the souffle. Let's check on the souffle.
This is not funny.
You know, movie...
Also, rebook, I think.
You know, movie, Michael Jordan's real life stuff in Looney Tunes Space Jam fit better than the Superboy stuff in this movie does.
Just think about that. Space Jam did something better than you. Think about it.
Also, Granny, do
Oh.
you have to whisper all your lines?
Remember to if you do a noise, the souffle is ruined.
Oh
So
God,
that's,
yeah.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
Damn new family recipes.
It's one of those things. It's one of those
This
fuck
scene
ups.
is
You know,
still
you know
going.
you know how the Nostalgia Critic used to have the top 11 fuck ups that he did in reviews. One of the fuck ups that he did was when he made the review of this movie, where he constantly talked about what. Wait, we're talking low because it will upset the souffle. But apparently, he is not familiar with how souffles are made. So
Yeah,
it's one
to
of
be
those
fair,
moments.
this is actually legit. I know!
Yeah, I
it
know. It's just that why do you want to put this in
So-
this movie?
So let me get this straight. One of the
But-
few
but-
things...
but-
Oh,
souffle!
no! No! You may have murdered the souffle!
Where did this asshole come from?
Oh
No!
hell no!
Oh, now
Oh,
you are
don't
gonna get it!
it!
Hey, look at that! Oh, look at that! They used a frying pan as a weapon.
You destroyed my running gag.
Wait, a frying pan is a weapon. I wonder if Disney wants this.
I'm not gonna touch this with a 10-foot pole.
Well, technically that is right.
Not only that, like seriously, you made the connection considering he's the same giant and everything.
Oh, is that Charles Barkley over there?
I think so.
Oh my god, I think that is Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
It is Charles Barkley, yeah.
Go challenge Godzilla somewhere else. Come
Is that
on,
Hugo
man.
Weaving?
Oh my
No,
god.
no, never mind. It's...
Again, though, quite the cast here. I mean, and you know what's weird? Charles Barkley is one of the guys who has one of the better basketball player fictional things. Like, not only the time when he went against Godzilla, but also the time when he was actually a private eye detective. Yeah, that was actually a good comic. And it's weird because Charles Barkley is the one with the attitude problems, yet somehow he had better luck at this stuff than Shaq did. Granted, he didn't really try going for the movies as much.
Dang.
And here we have a scrawny-looking Killmonger.
Too soon yet, Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, headcanon, he could
Oh
have
my
done
God.
this during these
Can you imagine?
adolescence.
I wonder, what if Shaquille O'Neal gets to be a great superhero in the MCU eventually?
I mean, at this point, Joe, the MCU is like a magnet that attracts everyone of any kind without exceptions and welcoming everyone.
Heck,
Might
they
as
even got
well.
Sylvester freaking Stallone. Oh, but don't you see, he doesn't... I guess he doesn't rat him out? I'm not quite sure what that scene was supposed to convey. Pedro, am I missing something, or is this movie just that stupid?
Honestly, Joe, I'm just clueless as you are.
And they somehow left his earpiece in him.
Well, they didn't found it.
True.
Charles, what did you do? Why are you into?
Again, the 90s where producer thought that just because you scriptured a basketball player, you had success.
It really seems
Hold
like...
on, hold on. Huh. Have you heard of this thing, Theo, called the internet? I've heard it's this thing that's apparently starting to catch on.
Yes,
but
it
they
wouldn't
said
be...
it's only for porn, so...
Well, he's not entirely wrong. As we all know, the internet is for
Yes.
porn. God, I love Avenue Q.
Fun fact: Avenue Q was the songwriters for that were the Lopez couple, aka the guys,
Really?
aka the guys who gave us Pooh 2011, Frozen, and Coco.
So you're telling us the guys from Avenue Q gave us the kid-friendly songs, like, holy cow! Because Avenue Q is essentially kind of like if
Yeah, I know.
you use South
Yeah,
Park with the Muppets. Like that's how raunchy.
Well,
it is.
remember, Jova. Robert Lopez helped out Trey and Matt with the songs in the Book of Mormon.
Wow, those Lopez brothers are everywhere, aren't they?
No, they're not brothers. They're a couple,
Oh,
They're just that crafty.
a husband and wife.
okay. Oh, one of them's a girl. I thought they're both. No.
Anyway, yeah, I think we're using this to bust Shaq out.
Oh, who's this guy? Oh,
They're
right.
basically using
That's
the
right. They're
sample
getting
of his
his voice
voice.
to sample. Oh, goody. Let's see how this sounds.
Durr? Translating voice.
Because this is how it works, right?
No.
It's not like there's a shit ton of papers to fill and everything.
Okay. Yes, the song is. Okay, movie. I get that your theme is fine, but don't overuse it. Like, use it for the more majestic moments, maybe. That was a guy just opening a bar cell door.
Okay, is Boomer actually going to do something in this? Because Boomer just seems to just be there. Your respiration is still funky.
That means his breathing is off, I guess?
I guess.
Why Brazil, though?
Oh, it's Brazil Street.
Because.
There's a street called Brazil Street in LA.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not the white Portuguese.
That's the guy with the truck. Oh.
Well, crud. Hey, I
Hello.
guess I'll give the movie credit. It took her this long before she became a captain.
Hello, the dog is in the same identical position. Like, it
Seriously.
never moves. That dog has seen some shit.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Jova. Not the youngest version, but the second youngest version of Anna in Frozen. That's also that's played by their daughter.
Oh, nice. I do like casting choices like that. It fits rather well.
As long as they work, yeah. It's not.
The child actors in that.
No,
look
that's
awesome.
what I mean, Pedro. Otherwise, you get a situation like Chaos Wars.
Oh, God.
Well,
the
Chaos
dogs
Wars,
are
it's
rather-
a whole case into itself.
Yeah.
Shaft, what are you doing here? You're not really prepared to deal with villains.
Well,
Or
hey, I
do
mean,
militaristic stuff.
hey, he's a rogue cop. He can deal with this sort of stuff. You know, they remember that Shaft is awesome.
But now he's old.
But he's
It's
playing a different character in this.
It's the Blues Brothers 2000 effect, where the characters are just old and depressed.
You
Maybe
know,
if he was Arnold Schwarzenegger, I could buy this, but
it's funny you mention Arnold Schwarzenegger, Pedro. Because believe it or not, well, again, I'll wait till we get to it.
Okay. That's very impractical.
So basically, all the world's biggest criminal gangs are here.
Clearly a job for the for a substitute of Superman.
Don't. You know, dude, you feel like you're underacting even less than Shaquille O'Neal. Think about that. Wow, you are such a smug snake with your words.
Okay then.
Shaq, you wanna, I don't know.
Do
But
something.
don't you see,
Do
he has
something.
his girlfriend Sparky captive.
But he doesn't know that, does he?
Uh,
Or did I already tell him?
well,
He knew.
I guess it makes sense you would recognize him since you know they used to go to the military together.
Oh, never mind. She's there. Never mind.
Yeah. Totally didn't see that betrayal coming.
That's for canceling PT.
Ooh. Okay, that may
I
be
can't
Or Silent Hills, more like.
I can't imagine what will happen if someone actually mentions Suikoden.
Oh god. Wow, you really would be a perfect for Konami.
Sorry, Teo. The closest thing we have to Suikoden right now is Ni no Kuni 2, sadly.
Hmm. Oh, of course.
He
Why
kind of
would
has
you
a
want
point.
that?
Money.
Do you even know how to use that thing, dude, by the way? Because remember, you're the one who started all this with your
Actually,
stupid...
maybe that's the idea. The Bangmobile. Yo, man.
By the way, Sparky, I know that you have guns in your wheelchair. How about using them?
We don't know that yet.
I know, but it begs the question in hindsight, though. Why doesn't she, do something?
Kenneth, what is wrong with you? I mean, wow, it's just Betrayal City now, ain't it?
Shaq's face there.
the climax is so disjointed. Damn.
Oh my god, look at that! Bilma got to do something. Hey, that's a nice reference to
boy.
Shaft. About time.
Alright.
A new weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
Metal Gear, yes.
I do not know how to use this hammer, but I'm just gonna ask this guy.
He actually does that.
Yeah, because this could not possibly be him trying to trick me or something.
River psychology always works.
Yeah, especially if your villain is dumb as bricks.
You know, maybe if the villain were more cunning, this trading of words would be more compelling, but yeah, like you guys have said, he's just as dumb as a sock of rocks.
No, this is not even banter, Joe.
Oh,
but
hey,
this
Napier.
this is Shaquille O'Neal trying to take advantage of a physically challenged, of a mentally challenged person.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
I wonder.
I just realized there was a defect in his mask there.
Not just that, but
There we go.
electromagnet. There we go.
Wow, you just got punked by Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh
Holy
shit, she's
cow!
fucking hit.
Yeah, like Pedro mentioned, look at that wheelchair.
Again, what was preventing her from doing this before?
Heck, if
In fact, how did she even get captured if she had these?
maybe it was part of the plan? No, they never stayed a plan.
Seriously, those guns in the wheelchair open up so many plot holes.
Like, seriously, if anything, why is she not also on the front lines? Like, just put on a costume, have the wheelchair be mobile enough, and bam! Oh, wait, that's right, she's his guy in the chair. Oh, never
Gotta go
mind!
fast.
It's got rocket power, apparently.
What's next? It's gonna start flying?
You know, I just realized he's used the hammer more as a gun than an actual hammer in this movie.
I don't think he actually ever used a hammer as a hammer.
I think he
I gotta,
used it
which
once
base,
as a
which like I
hammer.
said, renders its hammer timeline completely stupid.
Yeah.
Even stupider than usual. I mean,
Whoa, Pirate Guy just got hit in the crotch by a blast. Is he supposed to be dead or knocked back? It's...
No idea.
Oh,
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I guess all the other criminal bosses are dead or burning alive now.
Did he just say that?
I guess.
Oh god, the kid!
This villain is so not intimidating.
He kidnapped the kid.
Again, of all the comic book villains for these comic book movies, this is probably the least threatening.
And how does he lose his hostage? By getting distracted
At
by
least,
Shaft.
at least the MCU's
Oh,
villains actually
wait,
pose
wait,
a
wait.
threat.
Okay, this actually is one of the funniest bits.
Yeah.
Hi, Hill Harper. Wow, that's got to be a long-running grenade.
The
Okay.
grenade should have just exploded right now.
Excuse me.
Oh wait, this bit.
Jova.
Hold
Jova.
on, first though, this bit.
Yeah. Okay. The reaction.
He's gonna
The
make
reaction
it.
shot.
I think he's
He's
gonna
low
make
as
it.
well.
This is the slowest exploding grenade ever.
Yeah.
Come on and slam! And this is who I am.
Oh,
No! And that was Hill Harper for you, everybody.
I have a question though.
Yes.
Several.
Jova, wasn't Shaq supposed to be a military sergeant?
Apparently, he's never made a grenade, so thus he doesn't know how a grenade works.
But aren't military sergeants supposed to know how those things work?
Hey, there you go. That's how the villain dies.
By reflecting it off of his arm.
How lame.
Again, like I said, at least the MCU villains pose a threat.
Yeah. Who's supposed to be the disabled one here?
Yeah.
What? I swear, if it's the dog driving that.
Nah.
Oh, never mind. It was Oh right, yeah, that's his brother. I think.
No.
I mean,
Get the fuck out of here.
don't tell Grandma we've been out late now. Oh, let me guess. They're brothers and they're orphans, so they live with their grandmother.
I think so.
Oh, never mind. The criminal bad guys are still out.
Well, not for long, because the
Ah.
military at least made themselves useful
Well,
at some point.
there you go, Tio. I guess that's an end to the Yakuza, the Mafia, every other big criminal
A
gang.
truly happy ending.
I love how she's completely unenthused about the fact that she's just been caught.
It's like she was, you know what, I'm an extra in this movie. I deserve what I get.
Um,
Okay, no lines.
the fuck was that?
Oh, wait, this bit.
Yeah. mm.
Listen. Yep, they have Arnold Schwarzenegger guest starring as Shaquille O'Neal's fake voice in this. What?
Why Schwarzenegger of all people?
Because
Because
actual
it's-
movie star.
Because it sounds foreign.
I guess it was either him or Stallone.
Like, wow, again, what a cast. Ha!
Brr. Peace.
Oh,
Okay, but one vital question remains.
What about the
Did-
souffle?
Did Grandma perfect the souffle?
Well, wink, wink.
Here we go.
All right.
She did! She perfected the souffle!
Yay!
Good thing that story arc managed to get resolved.
Why do I feel like there was a restaurant movie plot we were missing here?
Most likely. That's a terrible moral. Oh my god.
So, this was the moral of the movie? Just put your mind to it?
Put your hands together if you wanna clap.
Oh my god!
What?
She can
What?
fly!
Are you serious?
No, it's an
Oh, never
exoskeleton. Oh wait, never
Yeah.
mind. I guess it stands up.
So
for
she
It's a
can
thing.
stand up. Lady, I appreciate the effort, but Shaq is a giant. You're still small compared to him.
How lovely! She made a
So-
wheelchair that can stand up. It's not like, you know.
And now everybody every
Java, it's a miracle! Praise me!
and now every physically challenged person watching this movie feels bad. Good job, movie.
But
Good
don't
job.
worry, folks. We're gonna stick around for the credits because there's a special song, and yes, we're doing one of those pan away slowly scenes. Hallelujah! This
I
movie.
don't know, too. I kind of have a soft spot for these.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I like this music too. It's kind of a bit silly knowing how this movie.
It's like I said
was.
in Hercules, gospel is just not my genre.
So let's
No,
see.
it's strictly personal, so don't take my opinion for it.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh, they had Troy White, David Parker. Yeah. All that.
Suwang.
So yeah, that was
There you
Steel.
go. Costumers, these three people are to blame.
Wow. What was even the thought process behind the
Terrible, I
costuming?
guess. I would have seen better in structure for a superhero suit with a furniture from IKEA. Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh.
final thoughts, I guess.
wait,
In the
wait,
meantime,
wait. Chris Reeves was the dialogue supervisor?
Sure.
you don't. Right.
So, where do we begin? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. This was painful. Like I get it, there are some genuine laughs here and there like that, but as superhero movies go, this is definitely one of the worst to me. Like, not even joking. Yes, movies like Daredevil, Elektra, Spawn, and all that jazz from this age, particular age, were also bad, and in those cases even boring. But I will dare to say at least they got something in some cases right. This gets nothing. Fucking nothing.
Wait, hold on. It got Man of Steel?
Yeah, like a single tattoo.
One thing.
And some mentions to Batman and Robin. There you go. Well, but that's even the fucking Constantine movie gets better the character than this.
Ouch.
Like, this was the terrible project from the get-go. To see talented people being wasted on this is just awful. I mean, I get it. Shaq is very passionate about what he does, so I'm not gonna blame him for this mess. But still, I wish he had a better career. Which eventually, I guess, he got by starting being self-aware with Shaq for Legend Reborn. We'll see how it goes from there, if he really is determined to bring back Steel as well.
Oh yeah, basically, folks, context. There's a line where he says, basically, when somebody's challenging him to remake certain stuff, he says, "Steel."
No, they say the guy says something like, "Oh, why did you waste time with this when you could have just remade Steel?" And he's like, "Steel is next, baby." So, can you imagine a new Steel reboot with Steel with Shaquille O'Neal in the DC Extended Universe?
If it's done in the same style as Shaq Fu 2 or Legend Reborn, yeah, I'll take it.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, in the meantime, no. This is definitely not my least favorite comic book superhero movie, at least for now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll still take this over something like Man of Steel or.
I guess, but I don't know. It's just
I guess Steel speaking on, an objective level of
even on a
quality.
basic level, Pedro. Like Man of Steel, at the very least, gets even the costume of Superman right for the most part. Like this gets nothing from Steel right. Not even the fucking weapon.
Mhm.
I guess it depends on what you're looking for, Echo. In terms of being a good time, Steel is definitely better than Man of Steel, but in terms of being,
I get it
legit taken
that
serious,
with some superhero costumes would be too silly to be transported into a movie format, so you make them change it. But still, I'd argue it's one of the ones that will be looking very cool in a movie.
Steel is literally a guy in a steel suit with a red cape, like
chroming and everything and shit. So I guess the only real trouble that we may have had would have been the budget, I guess. But I don't know. With $16 million, I guess we could have squeezed something out of this. Still, whatever.
I'll go
Anyway, I'm
next
done.
because just so I can get stuff ready for what we're gonna do after this. Okay. I actually have fun watching this movie. All of it's a terrible film, obviously. However, I have to admit it's still entertainingly enough. Like I enjoy making fun of it because the movie is just so easy to make fun of. And like I said, I really enjoy the music. Not just the gospel songs, the score itself. The main thing in particular is really cool. I think it really so yeah, props for the music in general. The acting ranges from unintentionally hilarious to just plain bad. The story is ridiculous, where we have this stupid subplot about a souffle that has nothing to do with anything.
And heck, that's what the movie ends on.
Yeah, like like Theo said, they get nothing right from the source material. The costume looks ridiculous. They kind of take a big it's kind of insulting to physically challenge people when you think about it, because of the whole I mean, Sparky's a much better character than Steel, but even then I would still argue the way they deal with some stuff regarding Sparky is incredibly questionable and some right down insulting. Like I mean, the not just because of the whole not helping her get up thing, like
it's the stupid you can do anything regardless of if you're disabled mentality of basically being patronizing to
it's
them.
the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing that cartoon with the kid clowns also had. I forgot what he was
little
called.
Clowns of something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
maybe we get an entire episode about this, but go ahead.
Yeah, but I have to admit, I still have fun with it. Like, like Jova has been saying, if this was if the filmmakers were clever, they would have realized mid-production, you know what? This would work a lot better as a comedy. Let's just turn this into a superhero parody.
Yeah.
And this would have turned out so great if it was, because all the required elements are already present here. They just need to be put to better use. And this would make a really interesting parody of superhero movies, especially considering how at the time the superhero genre was kind of starting to die out, and would take until 2005 with Batman Begins to get back into rolling.
Technically, as early as the 2000s with X-Men and Spider-Man, but I get your point.
Well, the thing is with Spider-Man, like, Spider-Man and X-Men were successful, but not successful enough to get every other studio in Hollywood to, start making their own.
I don't know, Pedro. We got not the Incredible, but we got Hulk 2003, we got Daredevil the same year, we got Blade, we got...
Yeah, I guess.
Well, we got quite a saturation.
Well, regardless, it's a terrible film, but it's at the very least enjoyable, which is something more that I can say for other superheroes. I'll still take this over the pre-MCU Captain America movies, at least.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because those movies are just, you want to talk about not getting anything right? The 1990s the Red Brown Captain America movies get nothing right. Nothing. Like at the very least, Shaq actually wants to help people in this movie. Red Brown's Captain America doesn't even want to do that.
Yeah.
So no, I'll still take this over those movies at least. But anyway, that's all from me. Go ahead, Jova.
Folks, like I said, if this movie had been handled differently, this could have been a revolutionary film, because when you think about it, this is a spectacular film just for how bad it is. Like, again, it feels like a parody, something that does feel like it is trying to be like it, but it's obviously never going to reach that zenith. Like, it is amazing how, okay, thinking about this movie makes me cringe and hate it, yet actually watching it, it feels like I plateaued to a case of, I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to feel from this movie. Like, Shaq himself is wooden, like, that's Shaq. But then they get all these top-notch actors who you have clearly seen do better and stuff. And then there's just the fact that the writer and director is Kenneth Johnson, the man who brought us Bill Bixby's The Incredible Hulk. Like, what happened to him? I really do have to wonder, like, how do you go from being one of the best people seen in the 80s in the film media industry to this? Like, it's bad. It's real bad. But again, like we said, this would have worked so much better as a parody, because this movie, it can be a blast to watch if, you aren't ticked off by the fact that this kind of, once again, ruins stuff for African-American folk, and thus, we kind of got the whole progressive thing pushed back a bit. Thanks.
Charming.
Yeah. That aside, though, the music is definitely still enjoyable. When the actors do get to pull off stuff properly, they can pull it off. And, yeah. I will say this, though, don't expect to take this film seriously, like, at all. I will say this, though, it is also a marvel that I think the guy who plays the bad guy is actually a worse actor than Shaq in this movie. Like, that's quite an accomplishment. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Steel. You can bet we'll be doing a Generations commentary of this with the other folks, but for now,
Yeah.
this was Shaq, so tune in for hopefully a better African-American superhero flick.
Well, at least there's that to Jova. It's only better from here, I guess.
I'm praying.
Hopefully.
Again, the last thing we need is another fan 4 stick.
We'll see. See ya.
See ya.